Imagine waking up one morning to find out the company you believed would change the world suddenly isn't even trying to anymore. 6 months ago, Tesla was flying high, sales booming, stock price climbing. Elon Musk wasn't just a CEO. He was treated like some kind of genius leading us to a cleaner, better future. But now Tesla's stock has crashed 35% in just a few months. China, Tesla's biggest market outside the US, has cut sales in half. And instead of fixing the problems, Musk is showing off dancing robots and promising self-driving cars that still can't actually drive themselves. Meanwhile, the affordable EVs, the ones meant for everyday people, have been quietly scrapped. And the loyal fans who once defended every bold move, some of them are starting to ask out loud, has Tesla completely lost its way? If you're confused about how things got so messy so fast, you're not alone. Today, we're going to lay it all out clearly. The promises, the mistakes, and the hard truths about where Tesla really stands in 2025. Because once you see it all together, it's hard not to wonder, is Tesla still leading the future or just chasing it? Not too long ago, owning a Tesla wasn't just about driving an electric car. It was about believing in something bigger, a cleaner planet, a smarter future, and a world where technology actually made life better. People weren't just buying vehicles, they were buying into a vision. Elon Musk stood at the center of it all, promising to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy, and millions believed him. Tesla wasn't just another car company, it became a movement. Wall Street loved it, retail investors couldn't buy in fast enough, and even people who didn't care much about cars started treating Tesla like it was the future itself. But here in 2025, things look very different. Instead of rolling out affordable electric vehicles for the everyday driver, Tesla is slashing prices, cutting into its own profits, and pulling away from the dreams it once sold so loudly. Instead of sharpening its focus on the cars that built its empire, the company is showing off humanoid robots that can barely sort laundry. And instead of celebrating breakthroughs, Tesla's name is showing up in federal investigations, lawsuits, and reports of missed goals. This isn't just a rough patch. Tesla is facing something deeper, an identity crisis. A company that built its reputation on bold promises now seems trapped between too many dreams and too few results. In this video, we're going to walk through exactly what's happening. We'll look at how Tesla went from dominating the EV market to scrambling for a new story, why China, once Tesla's biggest win, is now slipping away, why full self-driving may never be what was promised, and what it really means when even Tesla's most loyal believers start to question everything. So buckle up, because once we lay everything out, it becomes clear. This isn't just a temporary setback. It might be the moment when Tesla starts losing the very thing that made it unstoppable. When you think about Tesla a few years ago, it felt like nothing could touch them. They were the cool kid on the block, changing the world one electric car at a time. Investors loved them. Customers were obsessed. Every announcement from Elon Musk was treated like gospel. If you had told people back then that Tesla's stock would one day fall by over a third in just a few months, they probably would have laughed it off. But that's exactly what's happening now. The story that built Tesla, saving the planet, making electric cars affordable for everyone, has started to fall apart. And it didn't happen all at once. It was little things at first. Promises made, but not quite kept. New projects announced, but old ones still unfinished. Somewhere along the way, the company that was supposed to lead the EV revolution started acting like it was above it all. Like the hard work of just making great cars wasn't exciting enough anymore. Instead of focusing on making better and cheaper EVs, Tesla started chasing big, flashy ideas. Robotaxis, humanoid robots, full self-driving. These aren't bad ideas, far from it. But when the basics start crumbling underneath you, dreams aren't enough to keep the whole thing standing. Tesla's sales are down, especially in China, where local brands are absolutely crushing it. It's not even close anymore. Tesla tried slashing prices to stay competitive, but even that wasn't enough. It's hard to compete when your rivals are offering EVs that are cheaper, just as high-tech, and come without all the drama. And let's talk about full self-driving for a second. It's been the centerpiece of Tesla's future plans for years. Musk kept saying, next year for sure. Next year came and went, then another, and another. Today, full self-driving is still in beta, still needing drivers to stay alert at all times. Meanwhile, other companies, ones that didn't make huge promises, have already launched real self-driving services in places like Phoenix and San Francisco. No hype, no grand unveilings, just working cars doing real work. It's hard to ignore the feeling that Tesla is falling behind, not just in tech, but in trust. People who once believed in every word now raise an eyebrow. Customers who used to line up for a chance to own a Tesla are starting to look elsewhere. And when Musk showed off a new robo-taxi concept without a steering wheel, a car that doesn't even exist yet, it didn't spark excitement. It sparked questions. How much more time and money would be thrown into dreams while the real problems kept growing? At the same time, companies like BYD aren't sitting around. They're moving fast, expanding into new markets and doing exactly what Tesla promised long ago, making electric cars affordable and available for everyone. And while Tesla keeps trying to paint itself as something bigger than a car company, the truth is, most of its money still comes from selling cars. If that foundation cracks, all the other futuristic plans built on top of it start to look a lot shakier. It's a strange moment. For years, Tesla was the clear leader. Now it's starting to feel lost, not because the competition suddenly got better overnight, but because Tesla took its eye off the ball. Instead of fighting for its spot, it's acting like the fight was already won. But the EV world doesn't work like that anymore. The market is crowded. It's aggressive. It's not enough to have cool ideas. You have to deliver. And lately, Tesla hasn't been delivering the way it used to. The risk isn't just missing a quarter's sales numbers. The risk is losing the story. Tesla was always more than just a car company. It was a movement. It was a vision. But if people start believing that Tesla's best days are behind it, that the promises won't ever really materialize, that the future belongs to someone else, that's when the real trouble starts. Not because of one bad year or a few rough headlines, but because the magic, the belief, begins to fade. And once that happens, no amount of fancy prototypes or late-night tweets can bring it back. As Tesla tries to position itself as more than just a car company, it's facing a growing dilemma that's hard to ignore. This isn't a simple misstep. It's a company that's trying to juggle multiple visions at once. And in doing so, it's starting to lose its grip on what made it special in the first place. Let's start with the big pivot. Tesla used to be all about changing the way we drive, changing the way we think about energy, and leading the charge into a cleaner future. But now the focus seems to have shifted almost entirely to things that are still very much in the maybe one day category. And while Elon Musk's vision has always been ambitious, some of these pivots are starting to feel like distractions rather than innovations. Take the Optimus robot, for example. When Elon introduced it to the world, he sold it as a game changer. This wasn't just a robot that could vacuum the floor or fold laundry. No, this was the future. A robot that would make life easier by handling all the mundane tasks we hate doing. But here's the issue. Tesla isn't a robotics company, it's a car company. It has been for years. And while there's nothing wrong with exploring new technology, it feels like Tesla is losing sight of its core business. And more importantly, its core customers. Think about it. The very same company that made headlines for its sleek, cutting-edge electric cars, its promise of cheaper EVs for the masses, and its vision of a sustainable energy future is now focusing on making a robot that can sort socks. Sure, Optimus is impressive in its own right, but it's not exactly what the world was waiting for from Tesla. At the same time, core issues like improving the electric vehicles and delivering on self-driving technology remain largely unresolved. And that's where Tesla's credibility is really taking a hit. It used to be that when Elon Musk spoke, people listened and they believed. But now a lot of people are questioning whether Musk's ambitions are getting in the way of the things that really matter. Musk's shift toward artificial intelligence and robots is admirable in its own right, but these new ambitions aren't aligned with the market Tesla built. Let's talk about the competition. Tesla's dominance, once so undeniable, is being eroded by competitors. And they're not just big automakers like Ford or GM. The real threat now comes from China. BYD, a Chinese company, is producing electric vehicles in huge numbers. They're cheap, they're efficient, and they're flooding the market. In 2024, BYD sold nearly 3 million vehicles compared to Tesla's 1.8 million, and the gap keeps widening. These cars aren't just cheaper, they're also packed with similar tech and feature sets, making them an attractive option for price-sensitive consumers, especially in markets like China and Europe. So what does Musk do in response? He cuts prices. But while that might help move a few more cars, it also severely impacts Tesla's margins. It's a strategy born out of desperation rather than a clear vision for the future. And it gets worse. Musk starts backing away from Tesla's most important promise, the affordable EV. The very project that made Tesla a household name is now deemed pointless. That's a direct contradiction to what Musk said just a few years ago. The same man who once vowed to make Teslas accessible for everyone now has the world's most famous car company retreating from that mission entirely. While Musk seems preoccupied with building robots and thinking about a future where cars drive themselves without human intervention, the automotive world is moving forward. Traditional automakers like General Motors are pushing out new electric models, and the once dominant Tesla now finds itself trying to play catch-up. Tesla's competitors have caught up in both range and tech, and in some cases they're even surpassing Tesla's innovations. Meanwhile, Tesla's much-hyped full self-driving technology is still far from perfect. It's riddled with issues, from safety concerns to lawsuits, and hasn't delivered on its promises. And then there's the regulatory trouble Tesla's been facing. It's one thing to promise a self-driving future. It's another to deliver on that promise when the law is watching. Tesla's FSD system has attracted the attention of multiple federal agencies. Investigations are underway, and lawsuits are piling up. Musk himself admitted that the hardware used in Tesla's vehicles may need a complete overhaul to achieve the level of autonomy Tesla is aiming for. This is where things get tricky. Imagine you've already paid for a self-driving system, only to find out that your car might need major retrofitting to even get close to that autonomous dream. All of these issues, falling behind in EV tech, focusing on side projects like robots, and failing to deliver on the core product, contribute to Tesla's identity crisis. Tesla used to be synonymous with electric cars, innovation, and a future-focused energy transition. Now the brand feels fractured. Is it a car company, a robotics company, a tech startup that just happens to sell cars? That confusion is seeping into the market. Tesla still trades at an inflated valuation that's more reflective of a high-growth tech startup than a traditional car company. The stock is priced as though it's reinventing every aspect of life, when in fact it's struggling to even maintain its position in the electric vehicle space. In all honesty, Tesla has become a cautionary tale in the business world. The company that was supposed to change everything now seems unsure about what it wants to be when it grows up. And the longer this confusion lasts, the more dangerous it becomes for the brand. Investors aren't just backing a car company anymore, they're backing a dream. And dreams, while powerful, need to be rooted in reality. Without a clear, unified vision, Tesla risks becoming a company that people once believed in, but no longer understand. And in the fast-moving world of tech and automotive innovation, that's a problem. At this point, Tesla's story is beginning to feel less like a slick Silicon Valley success story and more like a cautionary tale of overextension. Sure, there's still a lot of potential in Tesla's future, but when you zoom in on the reality of the situation, it's easy to see that the company is not the untouchable force it once was. Here's the reality. Tesla's core product, the electric vehicle, is facing serious competition from all sides. While the company has managed to carve out a strong presence in the EV space, it's no longer the clear leader it once was. In fact, Tesla now finds itself stuck between two extremes, trying to compete in a market that's becoming more price-sensitive and trying to maintain its position in a high-tech, autonomous future that's still far from ready. First, let's take a look at the challenge of cost. As we mentioned before, companies like BYD are leading the charge in China. And they're not just making affordable EVs. They're making EVs that are good enough to compete with Tesla on nearly every level. And it's not just in China. These companies are expanding rapidly into other markets, including Europe and the US, offering cars that are cheaper and often have similar or even better technology than Tesla's vehicles. Tesla's initial advantage in the EV space was the ability to offer a product that was not only environmentally friendly, but also stylish, with advanced technology and performance features that made it feel cutting edge. Now, other automakers have caught up, and some are even surpassing Tesla in key areas like affordability, range, and features. And with Tesla pulling back from its once strong push to offer affordable electric vehicles, it's becoming increasingly difficult to maintain the illusion that Tesla's the only player in the game. In response to this, Musk has had to get creative. Price cuts seem like a logical move to boost sales, but they also reveal the larger issue. Tesla's margins are being squeezed, and it's no longer a company that can afford to be the low-cost leader in the market. While lowering prices might make Teslas more accessible to a broader audience, it's not the long-term solution. It's a short-term fix that doesn't address the underlying issue. That Tesla's product offerings are starting to blend in with the competition rather than standing out. Meanwhile, on the high-tech side, Tesla's push for full autonomy remains an ongoing challenge. The dream of a fully autonomous vehicle, one that can drive itself without human intervention, is one that Musk has promised repeatedly. But for years, the technology has failed to live up to expectations. And while other companies like Waymo and Cruise have already made significant progress in deploying fully autonomous vehicles, Tesla is still stuck trying to perfect its full self-driving FSD system. Worse, the company has faced several incidents that have raised questions about the safety of its technology, including fatal crashes and federal investigations. Despite all the hype, Tesla's FSD system is far from full autonomy. It's still very much in the driver assistance phase, with human drivers needing to be ready to take over at a moment's notice. And now, after years of promising a future with fully autonomous vehicles, Musk and Tesla are facing mounting pressure to deliver. But there's a problem. The technology still isn't ready, and in some cases, it may require hardware upgrades to get it there. That's a huge problem for customers who've already shelled out thousands of dollars for the system and now face the prospect of needing to retrofit their cars. On top of that, there's the issue of public perception. Tesla's image used to be bulletproof. People believed in the company, in Musk, and in the mission to transform the world. But now things are different. People are starting to question whether Tesla is still living up to its promises, whether the company can continue to lead the charge in electric vehicles when so many competitors are catching up, whether the brand can stay relevant when the hype around Musk's other ventures, like robots and AI, is distracting from the core business. Even some of Tesla's most loyal fans are beginning to voice their doubts. It's no longer unthinkable to suggest that Tesla might need new leadership. A few years ago, such a conversation would have been off limits. But now it's happening in online forums and news articles, with people asking if Musk's attention is divided between too many projects, leaving Tesla behind. And that's where the problem really starts to crystallize. Tesla, once the shining example of how to disrupt an entire industry, is now in danger of losing its grip on that very industry. The company that was supposed to lead the charge toward a sustainable future is, instead, stuck in a kind of limbo. Tesla's push into robots and autonomous taxis is still a long way from reality, and it's unclear whether any of these side projects will be profitable. For now, they're more like expensive experiments that don't seem to have a clear path to success. The danger here is that Tesla could end up a jack-of-all-trades, master of none. It's trying to compete in too many spaces at once, and as a result, it's struggling to maintain its position in any one of them. Tesla's leadership has always been one of the company's greatest strengths, with Elon Musk playing a central role in shaping the brand's identity. But if the company's core product, the electric car, starts to fade into the background, and if Tesla can't deliver on its promises in autonomous driving and robotics, then what's left? That's the million-dollar question for Tesla right now. Can it refocus on its roots, on the cars and the energy solutions that made it successful in the first place? Or will it get caught up in a web of ambitious side projects that ultimately end up taking the company down a path it can't recover from? As we wrap up, it's clear that Tesla's story isn't just about electric cars anymore. The company that once seemed unstoppable is now at a crossroads, struggling to balance its original vision of revolutionizing transportation with its ambitious forays into robotics and artificial intelligence. The golden days of being the only game in town for electric vehicles feel like a distant memory as the competition grows stronger, cheaper, and more capable.